Hey everybody. This video is going to be a little bit different. I always get questions about what security suite do I use on my own computer. Um, I got two different suites that I use. On my personal computer, I use Komodo Internet Security version 4 with everything enabled. And on my other family members' computers who aren't very computer savvy, last year I bought them Kaspersky Internet Security, and that was before version 4 came out. Now they have about 100 or so days left on their security suite on the Kaspersky, and I've been testing version 4 to see for usability. I know security is very well on it, but usability, and it seems that since the sandbox came out, it's gotten really good at being very usable. So I think that when their subscription runs out, I think I'm going to move everybody over to Komodo Internet Security. Now what I want to show here is some of the settings that I change in Komodo to make it very usable and very secure. Now I installed Komodo here, and all I did is update the virus definitions. Nothing else has been changed. All the settings are just like they come. When you install the whole suite, you can see sandbox is enabled, safe mode, antivirus, stateful configuration is on internet security. Now what I wanted to show is people have been having problems running the Komodo leak test suite and getting a passing grade, and it's because the way the sandbox is set up. The first thing you get when you try to run the suite is you get a run with elevated privileges. If you allow this, the program will run until you, of course, answer the dialog from Windows. And there it is. And if you test, you'll see that a lot of these you're vulnerable to. Now, there's a reason for that, and it's because the way the sandbox is set up. Now I'll do the test this way, and you'll see what score it gets. And let me pause the video while the test is running, and I'll be back when it's done. Okay, so it's done. Now with the configuration the way it's set, you get 150 out of 340, and you go, well, that's not good at all. Well, this is what I do. First thing I do is I go to configuration and I go to proactive security. That right there gives you a lot better security. Next, what I do is I go to the firewall and I go to the stealth port wizard, and I go to the second one, and it says alert me to incoming connections and block everything else, stealth everything else. The reason I do this is because sometimes I use uTorrent, or I want to have access to this computer and I need it to alert me. I don't want it just to block everything because I might need that alert. So I do that. And lastly, I go to the sandbox settings, and the most important thing that I uncheck is detect installers, updaters, and run them outside of the sandbox. This is what that elevated privilege was about. When you allow something to run with elevated privileges, it basically gets a free reign of the system. That's for usability, so you don't get a lot of pop-ups, but if you answer that, you can get in a lot of trouble if you don't know that the program is totally safe. So that's why I changed that setting. Now, with the way that is, you can see that now we're starting to get some more alerts. We're trying to execute it now. So we'll allow, and now we'll test. So I'll be back when this is done. And you can see now you're getting more alerts. That's the trade-off. But now you can block these alerts, and you just block, and look at that. Simple. Sandbox is still running. You change a couple of settings, and you go from 150 to 340. Full system security. And it's still very usable. Not a lot of pop-ups. You saw there's like 3 pop-ups, so that's pretty good. Now, these are the same links, so I can show you security is still there, that we used in the Clam AV. So I'm going to run a couple of these to show you that everything still works just like it should. I'm trying to remember which ones worked. Some of these didn't work. Okay, Komodo antivirus caught that one. Now the AV didn't catch that, but the application was sandboxed. Now one thing here, so people understand, some people have been having trouble understanding where the sandbox applications go. They're not actually where the sandbox is listed. They actually go to My Pending Files. That's where all applications that have been sandboxed are going to. You can see it right there. And those automatically get submitted to Komodo for testing and review. And there you go, that was also sandboxed, and they can't run. As you can see, some of these are very, very new, and there's no signatures for them. But that's why you have the sandbox and the other parts of the program to protect your system. And you can see I haven't answered any questions other than the antivirus alerts. I'll do 2 more, and then I'll go and download some legitimate applications so you can see that these things actually Komodo still responds like it should. You can see that one was caught by the AV, just like it should, to legitimate applications. Oh, that one's not recognized. Okay, so all those have been running in Sandbox. Now the one thing you got to realize is with the Sandbox from Komodo, you can still get dropped files, and sometimes you can get applications that you just downloaded still running in RAM, but the second you restart, all those applications are going to be gone. Alright, so sometimes you will see things running in RAM, but when you restart, they're gone. And the way the Sandbox is set up, you can get dropped files, but the files can end up on your hard drive, but there's no access to them. You can't run those files. Nothing will happen to them. And then when the AV signatures catch up, it'll find those files when you do a scan or when you access that folder, and it'll delete them. And let me just show you here a couple. I'm trying to be within the 10-minute time thing here. I'll just show you a couple things here that you can see that you can install signed files, safe files as I like to call them, without any pop-up from Komodo or anything. So this is Defraggler, which is a hard drive defragging utility by the same makers of CCleaner. As you can see, I'm not getting any questions. It's letting it go through just like it should. You can see, program works beautifully. And there you go. It installed. Let's try one more here. Let's try something that might give you a lot of questions. Here you go. Java. Java, I know, can give you a lot of questions when you install it because it needs access to a lot of different systems. So I'm going to download this file. I'm going to pause the video because I'm almost out of time, and I'll come back when I'm installing it. Okay, here we go. Now what I'm going to do real quick is see it sandbox that one because it doesn't know what it is, but you can easily go do not run this application in sandbox, and you can let it through without a problem. Let me pause here. Okay, so you can see it's installing just fine. It just sandboxed that one temp file because it's a temp file and it wasn't signed. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to download Malwarebytes and Hitman Pro and do a scan with both so I can show you that nothing truly got through. I got 30 seconds, so I'm going to be back. Okay, so I did a scan with Komodo. It didn't find anything. I'm going to restart, scan with Malwarebytes, and I'll be back. Okay, so Malwarebytes didn't find anything. I will be back with the Hitman Pro scan. Okay, so Hitman Pro, basically all I found was some temporary internet files and one temp file here. I'm out of time, so take care. Hope you enjoyed the review. Talk to everybody later.